well and just gets out 4-0 in this group.
King Sejong Station, definitely one of herO's favorite maps, I would have to say. We've seen him on this a lot in Pro League.
Yep, that we have. Well, guys, we are going to jump right into set number 2 here in the winners match between Stats and herO. Let's jump into it. Up here in the top left in the red, Protoss players down 0-1. It is Stats.
Down here, in the bottom right, it's herO.
Crikey!
He's a big one. And he's primed to get out of this group. Will he drop a map is the next question.
I don't know, man. I don't think so. Not the way he's playing.
You just counting out stats already, dude? Way to hype your game, Valdez.
I don't know, because before the game started, I was like, I don't know. I think Stats actually is playing better in PvP these days. But herO just is so smart. Like you were saying before, everything that he did in that game had a reason. It was just reading stats the entire game. Really nice timing attack as well. And
I think it really helped the fact that he got to watch Classic versus Stats. You know, like...
Yeah, that's definitely a part of it.
It's like, well, okay, this happened in previous games, like 2 of the previous games that they played. Huh, I guess I'll just, you know...
Keep that in the back of my head, you know.
Same with this map. We did see this map, especially against Stats and Classic. We did see a proxy.
DTs.
DTs it was.
Yeah.
It was DTs versus Stargate once again. Unfortunately, Classic went down that game.
Well,
nothing just yet for either player.
Yeah. Kind of the way it goes in PvP unless we get a very fast proxied gateway or so. Just see both the gases taken. We do see only 2 probes in each of the gases for now for herO. So kind of cutting back on that gas intake as well as Stats. He's doing the same thing actually.
Yeah, we'll add the other 2 momentarily. How safe will we see these players play? We did see in Pro League recently how safe you could play and get completely taken advantage of when Zest played against Creator.
Oh, yeah.
He went for the Blink Stalker in the Robo build, getting really no aggression whatsoever. Simply just going for defensive Blink. I think maybe Zest was a little too cocky in those games, thinking he could just go into the mid game with an advantage.
Yeah.
We have not seen anyone do it today, though. Everyone's simply going for a lot of aggression, a lot of sort of tech advantages and proxies.
Yeah. They're playing to win. I feel like Zest build is almost like what you were saying before, kind of cocky. It's like, oh, I think I'm better than my opponent. No matter what I do in the beginning, I can win. And it's kind of like a ladder build, you know? It's like a lot of weird stuff can happen on the ladder. You're not exactly sure who your opponent is. You just want to get a safe build in there. But he got taken advantage of, as you were saying. Mothership Core is now out on the map for both players, as well as 1 Stalker. And Twilight Councils come down at the exact same time. These guys are doing exact mirrored builds right now.
Yeah, how funny is that? Both going for those early second gateway. You get at those earlier Stalkers. Kind of make sure there's nothing tricky going on this time. So we're both playing essentially, as we were mentioning, safe. Very safe. See if they go into that Robo after that.
Ooh, Mothership Core of herO is going to catch out the probe.
Oh,
there you go.
Gets it. What? herO. And this Mothership Core of Stats has to be pretty careful because there's going to be 3 Stalkers out.
The Stalkers looking for the Mothership Core. But herO being very careful with that.
Another gateway being added from Stats. Looks like Stats wants to be very aggressive this time. Obviously sending out a second probe on that. Wants to get a pylon out on the map. Oh, so much damage done to this Mothership. And
really close to dying as well.
Might as well just let it die at that point. Let's get a new one. Nah, that probably puts you way too behind in a mirror match. No doubt about that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Both these guys actually going for that Blink into Robo build, funnily enough, as we were talking about it before.
Safety first, man.
Yeah.
Might as well, especially for Stats, considering he's down in game. Doesn't want to lose anything cheesy. Wants to play a straight-up game in his last life of the winner brackets. Whereas here, up a game, maybe thinks he can just simply play safe, go into that mid-game. I mean, this is the map, obviously, a lot easier to defend on. the layout of this map, a lot easier to defend the natural base because of pretty much the map layout. Just a long distance to get to each other's bases.
Unfortunately, there was a Stalker caught. It is in jail right now, but once it evolves and gets an upgrade, he will be able to blink out. But he's going to have to wait. And so for now, Stat's going to have to sit back. He actually cannot put on the pressure now.
Yeah,
he's missing one Stalker. That's actually huge.
Pretty awkward. I'm sure he's going to poke anyway. So he's bringing a probe down. No intention of expanding just yet. And now herO shows his Nexus first. We are seeing Stats go right ahead. Stats with a small Stalker lead for now, but we are seeing more warp-ins from herO.
Yeah. Stats also putting down his Nexus, slightly behind herO. Ooh, and gets away with that probe. Very sneaky. Stalkers scared of each other. Just blinking away. herO coming back with his Mothership Core. This guy is fully healthy, unlike the Mothership Core of Stats. Will come into play a little bit later on.
Maybe. I mean, it really just means that Stats has to get out his time warp just a little bit earlier. Unless he loses it, gets it picked off, which would be very easy to do. And from here, both players going into the same sort of style again. Forges being added for both. Very straight up game, Valdez. These guys want to go the distance this game.
Yeah. This can be very interesting because, especially when neither player really got any sort of advantage, it really comes down to who's better in the mid game here. You're not starting off with, okay, I'm going to go for a proxy, proxy DTs, and you can just get behind off of that. It's going to be nothing like that. We're going to go straight up. They're both going to have the same exact tools.
It really seems to get interesting in these kind of situations when the third base is being put down, or if one player decides not to and instead decides to be the aggressor. Like we saw last game on merry-go-round, herO obviously going for the aggression after taking a lead, defending very well against the DTs. That usually kind of comes into play a lot in this next step of the game. We are seeing herO kind of poke for now, seeing get what he can. Not finding anything just yet. Both players doing very well for themselves in micro. Ooh, couple of sentries. 3 sentries actually being picked off.
Yeah, really nicely done by herO. Knew he had the Stalker advantage just by getting that scout down, and snipes all of those sentries, as he did mention, forces the Nexus cannon.
We're actually seeing more wins from herO. herO actually really wants to push the issue. He's only got a little bit of a time window left before the Immortal is out. The next, probably going to make things a little too impossible for these Stalkers to find much. Still, going to be fighting under the phone on overcharge, expelling all his shield, and getting out alive. Just applying pressure, forcing out units that do not want to be made from Stats. Doesn't look like herO's finished here either. He's adding a lot more Stalkers. And I think he is planning to blink to the back of the base with those 4. Do a lot of economic damage, focusing down probes.
Yeah, this is actually something we didn't talk about. This map is very good for this. Can blink in one side, blink out the other. Can come in from both sides, as it looks like herO wants to do. And as we're seeing here, Stats making double Immortals. It's going to be hard for herO to fight at the front. But 4 Stalkers in the back can get a little bit sticky for Stats.
Yeah, I think he's going to find some decent pro damage. Oh, we're going to focus down an Immortal at the front. Gets out alive with everything. Same time.
The micro was insane, man.
Oh.
Really nice timing here, but that Mothership Core, it's under damage and it comes down. And now herO, confident enough, he barely does not take out that Immortal. But he's able to fight in the main still very efficiently. He's starting to get a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, he's kind of picking apart Stats. He's already got 1 Immortal. He got actually 1 Stalker before he got to blink out. Got a few probes. And from here, we see him kind of go into that same style, going into Colossi, adding more gateways. Only on +1 for now.
Wow, a very big blink forward. That's a bit dangerous here. And now Stat's going to blink forward, take out a bunch of Stalkers at the same time. herO does get his charge back, and he does blink away.
Same time. 4 Stalkers once again going to the back of the base. You see some more probe damage. He cannot lose too many Stalkers, though. This can spell the end. Can spell for a big counterattack. Colossi comes out. I don't think he can actually kill it, though. A little too much damage.
He's actually going to go for it. He blinks forward.
That is ambitious and a mistake.
Some mistakes being made by herO. It's almost as if he's trying to do too much.
Overly aggressive. is definitely the answer in this.
Yeah, we kind of saw this between Zest and Creator as well. Zest getting a little bit behind. He's trying to catch up, and he's forcing the issue with some Stalkers. He loses a lot and eventually loses the game. Whereas herO, even with stats here, doing a bit of the same. He does get some damage down, but I have to say herO's taking a bit more than he's giving.
I mean, maybe he's trying to go for... It looks like he's going to try to go for these Colossi. I don't think it's going to be a good idea, not with 2 Immortals there.
I don't know, man.
Oh, my goodness. He's not even going to get that. Oh, he gets it. Oh, what? He blinks forward and gets it in 1 second. Oh.
Well, what do you think about that trade? 5 Stalkers for 1 Colossus?
No, I guess it really depends. I mean, they're still equal on supply. Obviously, reducing the Colossi count is pretty important when it comes to it. If the fight happens anytime soon, it'll all have been worth it. Still, man, that's a lot of Stalkers, and it can sort of warrant a counterattack. As we are seeing units move across the map, we have seen a lot of Stalkers of herOs go down.
The thing here is that you know, herO does have 1 more Colossus, but is it going to really help out with is it really going to help out when Stats has 12 Stalkers on his end to do some really nice blink micro, possibly blink on top of Stalkers? herO, he's kind of just made a lot of Zealots for the protection of his Colossi. And he's starting to add some Archons as well.
We're seeing Stats apply the pressure, but behind this he is making a 3rd Nexus. It is nearly done at this point as well.
Really important scout by herO, actually. He actually has charge, something I did not notice. Tries to blink forward and snipe that Colossus. He misses once again. Now he's got to back off and kite, but the blink forward out of Stats, trying to focus on the Colossi of herO.
Pretty even trade so far. You've got to be careful, though. 2 Immortals doing so much damage, especially to the Stalkers and the Colossi if they get on them. And Stats maintains his 2nd Colossus. And there's only Colossus left for herO at this point. He has nothing to buffer for them, so when Stats finally decides to attack again, it might be the end. Though we are seeing a big warp in, plus an Archon being made for herO.
Yeah. Stats doesn't even have to go for the kill here, but I feel like he can just go for it, you know. He loses 1 Colossus here, but the big blink forward out of Stats, trying to focus on the Colossi of herO. Nexus cannon now coming down, but this is just way too much out of Stats. Looks like Stats is going to take game number 2 here, guys. GG is called.
Nicely done. That was pretty much the story of herO being too aggressive when he didn't have to be.
Yeah.
Trying to pick apart Stats to a point where he lost, like, must have been like 8 or 9 Stalkers. I think it was 9 Stalkers from just blinking around.
Yeah. Maybe even more, man. Because it was like 4 the first time in the main, 5 the second time. And then he lost like 3 or 4 just fighting at the front.
Yeah, just a little over-aggressive. And yeah, as you were saying, we did see that from Zest in recent times as well.
Yeah, you know, herO, I feel like at the end of that game, he was smiling and laughing to himself. I feel like he was just a bit embarrassed. He's like, oh man, I kind of threw that one. Like, I was trying to do too much. But I still feel like he's pretty confident here. His coach is coming in, assistant coach, giving him a bit of a talk.
That's like the coolest coach ever.
Oh yeah, that guy's actually the nicest guy in the whole studio.
He's like the coolest guy. Like he just looks badass as well. Like
yeah,
always in like some fly suit or something, just balling out of control, man.